What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about the one and only All Black captain Kieran Read. Now the unfortunate news is he's announced that he will retire after the 2019 Rugby World Cup to go continue his career. I think it's in Japan, but for New Zealand 2019 is the final year that he will be captain, and what a career this man has had. I've always had the utmost respect for Kieran Read. I know you've got your lovers and your haters of the man, but truly I think you've got to give this guy respect and credit where credit is due. He's had an unbelievable career. I mean, having the career starting off with a legend like Richie McCaw is absolutely unbelievable. Having the guidance, the leadership from this man, it must have been absolutely amazing. And then to take over from a legend like Richie McCaw must have been one heck of a scary moment, because you've had one of the greatest All Black captains of all time, Richie McCaw, leading the way, winning World Cups. I mean, he really did it all. 2011, 2015 World Cup champs. But Kieran Read was alongside Mr. Richie McCaw, and what it must have been to have taken over from such a man like Richie. Kieran Read has had a great career, and alongside that with the Crusaders, with New Zealand, he's really done it all and been remarkable in all aspects. I love the way he played, I love the sportsmanship from this man, and just generally everything that he had to offer as a human being on and off the field. I thought he was brilliant at everything he did. His tackling, his running, his forward play, his passing, it was just top of the range and skillful. And what he's achieved with the All Blacks is absolutely amazing. I mean, the streaks with him as captain, I mean, winning the World Cup in 2015. Yes, I know Kieran Read was, Richie McCaw was the captain, but Kieran Read was still there. He grew and he took over from the man. There must have been a lot of trust factor between those two men, especially for Richie to allow the hand over the reins to a man like Kieran Read. And I couldn't have thought of a better captain to take over from a guy like Richie McCaw. And I think going forward, this is where the question that I have after this title is, who's next? Who can fill the shoes and continue the legacy of the All Blacks? If I have to look at captains, and I mean, the All Blacks have had great captains. I mean, from 92 eras to all the way up. I mean, Tane Randall's one that I remember. I know he didn't have a long stint. Anton Oliver, obviously Richie, and Sean Fitzpatrick, and all those great guys. I mean, there's pure talent, and obviously guys have captained in between, don't get me wrong, and there's been great all-round leadership quality coming from the All Blacks, and what they have to offer has been truly remarkable. But in my generation or time, we could say obviously Richie and Kieran Read stand out for me as greats, especially after what they've achieved under with the All Blacks, and also not just the All Blacks, in their respective provincial levels. I mean, the Crusaders have won so many Super Rugby championships. They're the top provincial team in World Rugby. Obviously we can't, well, definitely in the Southern Hemisphere. And he's got the Super Rugby titles, he's got the World Cup titles, he's got the Rugby Championship, Tri-Nations, Bledisloe, you name it. He's had all the trophies, and so well deserved. He's truly a remarkable player of the game, and I wish him all the best in his future endeavours. But can he make it? Can he help the All Blacks get that hat-trick? Get 3 in a row and the 4th World Cup title? Well, anything is possible, and with the team that the All Blacks have to offer, I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And it would be so well deserved. What a fairy tale ending to an amazing career for a great nation. It truly will be remarkable. So I wish Kieran Read all the best, and hope he continues shining while we're in his new career. I think it's in Japan. Now to the question of the day. Who is next? There's so many people to talk about in this instant. You got the TJ Perenaras, the Bodie Barretts, the Sam Canes, Dane Coles has been thrown in, Whitelock has been thrown in. The only question I have is there's quite a few of these guys who are are getting to an older age. I mean, Sam Whitelock, Dane Coles are 30s or so. That's a question. Beauden Barrett, there's so much talk of him leaving to go play rugby, also maybe in Japan or overseas after the Rugby World Cup. So it's all these questions that need to be in. I know Dane has signed on for a little longer. TJ's also got till after the World Cup or something like that, 2020. I know I did a video about that. So it's all those aspects to look at. But one question I have is, what about maybe Scott Barrett? Yes, I know maybe he doesn't have the leadership experience, but he's young. Start a guy off young, build him in. He could probably get another. He's got this World Cup to have a big experience in, and then he will definitely have another one, albeit hopefully his injuries are strong and he doesn't get injured. He could maybe even have another one after that if he keeps fit and strong. But that's just a thought that I'm throwing in there. I'm not saying he's the right man for the job, but I thought from a point of view of the experience the Barrett brothers have had, bringing in one as a leader and growing him and mentoring him into something special that could be like a Kieran Read or a Richie McCaw. You never know. Anything is possible. There might be youngsters that I'm even missing who could be putting their names down to be future All Black captain. But my recommendation is, why not test it on a youngster, build them up? I mean, look at the depth within New Zealand rugby. It's absolutely amazing, and the quality that comes from New Zealand is just as good. It is phenomenal. So if you could build someone up young and grow them, holy mac, you could get maybe 4 World Cups in a young bloke as a leader, and will have the name of the greatest All Black captain of all time. You just never know. But there's so many other great talents who have the experience, who can definitely hold on for another World Cup. And I mean, if we look at the ages of Beauden and all these guys, they do have another World Cup in them, in my opinion, and definitely have the opportunity of leading the All Blacks. But it all depends on if they stay and not head out, because I know a few of them want to head out. So for me, if I have to throw in hats for World Cup opportunity, I would definitely go, not World Cup, for captaincy opportunity. I'm going to go with Sam Cane. He's pretty much my number one. Then I'll go with Brodie Retallick. And then I'm going to go with Scott Barrett as my risk, we could say. Obviously, we have other great talent out there. TJ Perenara, I think, would be absolutely outstanding. Where he's come in his career has been brilliant. I mean, he's been on the bench most of his career. Now he's starting to come up and peak. Maybe this is the right time for him to take a leadership role. But also the question we need to ask these guys, or the fans, especially you guys in New Zealand, is, will the captaincy put extra pressure on the player, and will that affect their playing skills? Because that's something we need to also take into account. Can they handle the pressure? Can they handle the extra heat from fans, from media, from opponents? Can they handle it all? Because you've seen in sport generally where you have a born captain like a Richie, a Kieran, and then you have a captain who was maybe put in a situation when he just wasn't ready and doesn't have the greatest career, and we've seen that happen here and there in the sport. So for me, it's got to be able to be a strong character who can handle everything and all the pressures in world rugby. So personally, I'd go with Sam Cane, obviously hoping his injury, his back and all that stuff, strong and healthy. But I think he's an outstanding bloke and a good leader, and could take the All Blacks to the next level in the next World Cup. But again, I stick to what I say. Maybe get someone younger, like Scott, or someone even younger, develop them, grow them, and see where they go. That is just my thoughts and opinion on this topic. It's a very interesting one, and I'm excited to hear who you guys think should be the next captain. I'm going to leave a poll up above of suggestions, and let me know who you think, as well as do it in the comment section. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you never miss another video. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.